Hey people, D-Man here, and today I am reviewing um Infinity Train, the whole entire series. Because sadly, Infinity Train has ended on season 4, or book 4, whatever you want to call it. Which really sucks because it sounded like the creator had a lot more coming. And it was really cool to think about like all the extra stuff that was gonna come. But due to reasons, probably stupid reasons, it got canceled. But hopefully one day it will come back. If we keep on asking for it and keep on buying stuff, keep on supporting it, maybe one day it will come back and we'll actually get some extra seasons or at least a good wrap up to it. But until then, it has ended on season 4. Now, that's very sad, obviously. But let's talk about the seasons and how I liked them, how I didn't like them, and all that stuff. So, first off, spoiler free. I will do a spoiler talk after this, but first off, spoiler free. So, spoiler free, what's wrong with you? Go watch Infinity Train. Go watch season 1 or book 1 all the way to 4. It is completely awesome. It has some. There are some times where it gets a little bit boring here and there, and there is some times where it gets a little bit stupid here and there. But for the most part, it's awesome. It's pretty good. It's pretty awesome. Um, excuse me. But yeah, for the most part, darn it, man. For the most part, it's pretty awesome. Uh, can't really spoil much, but let's just say book 1 or season 1, it's about a young girl and her problems, because that's what the Infinity Train is about. It's all about problems. Book 2 is about a similar situation. Book 3 is about a different situation that turned out really cool. And book 4 is about a different situation entirely, but it still turned out really cool. Can't really say anything else without spoiling it, so let's move on to spoilers.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, share this video, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
Okay, so spoiler alert. So, might I say this? I might say this. I'm going to say that Infinity Train shouldn't have been a cartoon. It should have been a cartoon show, but it shouldn't have been a cartoon show on like I think it's on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. It's on Cartoon Network, right? Something like that. I don't remember exactly which one. But one of those two, or maybe it's. I don't think it's Disney. But it's one of those. And it probably shouldn't have been. It probably should have been something like on Adult Swim or something like that, because it has some mature subject matter and has some mature subject scenes in it, which is very cool. But due to the restrictions of for kids, they couldn't really do much. But they did do some things, and I think that probably contributed to getting cut. I think that probably contributed to it getting eventually canceled. Because Cartoon Network doesn't like that bad stuff, or whichever one it is. They don't like that bad stuff, even though people love it. But I think this show should have been like a solid 14A, like rated 14, maybe even rated 18, depending on how far the creator would have went. Like if he had true creative freedom where he could do like whatever he wanted, probably 18 at that point, because probably would have been a lot more awesome if it was like an 18A show. Just a lot more like, I don't know, blood and gory. Would have been cool. But yeah, it probably should have been something like that. But it got picked up by a network that's just not okay with that. But yeah. But the show is awesome. So season 1 is all about a girl named Tulip and how she has to deal with her parents' divorce and how she has to deal with her past life and her future life, and she's very sad, and like she's very depressed because her parents are divorced and they have to split her between them, and they don't have time to do certain things, and obviously it makes her life miserable. And obviously she somewhat blames herself as well, which a lot of people do. At least from what I remember, she somewhat blames herself, which a lot of people do for some reason. Kids do for their parents' divorce. But yeah, like she just has this really sad divorce story where she has to work through it. Um, and eventually she does and escapes the train, as well as saves one's position as the train leader, as the train captain, because someone took over the train and it was a I forgot her name. But anyways, someone took over the train and she was evil. So Tulip eventually saved the train from her, and it was pretty interesting. And we got to know like the whole backstory of like how the numbers work and a bunch of stuff like that. And it was just a really good season, and it had some dark moments in it, but not as dark as the other seasons. And then we had season two, which was all about Tulip's reflection, or Lake as she called herself at the end, and also the boy. There was a boy there too. I forgot his name, but there's a boy, and there's Alan Dracula, a, a I almost said giraffe. No, he was a deer. It was a deer. And basically, this boy was on the train because he let people push him around and just basically listen to everything they said, even if it was going to get people hurt. Like, he was a good kid, but he would listen to everybody, even if it was going to get people hurt. Which is messed up, obviously. And River, Lake, Lake? No, it's Lake, right? And Lake, Tulip's reflection, she was from the previous season, and she is being chased down by some basically cops, mere cops. Um, she's being chased down by them, and they're trying to kill her because she escaped the mirror world, and her friend and her have to try to escape. And it's basically just a bunch of shenanigans between these two as they grow a really cute relationship. Some people, like a lot of people, said it was platonic, and some people said it was like dating relation, like it was like a like relationship, and some people said it was like a just like a platonic relationship. I personally think it was a like because just the way they were acting around each other, just the way they blushed around each other. That kind of reminds me of a like relationship, but whatever, I guess. I just personally think that's my head canon, is that they're going out. Even though it's kind of weird, but whatever. That's my head canon. Um, so we basically meet these. We meet up with Lake and this kid, and they go on this adventure together. As Lake slowly opens up to him, and he slowly opens up to Lake, and they become friends. And it's really cool. It's really cute. It's just really fun adventure. And at the end, there's some very R-rated content, pretty much, where Lake kills one of the officers, and the other officer goes crazy and tries to murder her straight back, even though they were trying to murder her in the first place. But he goes crazy and tries to murder her because he killed his partner. Um, and our boy, he comes back because he gets let off the train, but then he comes back to save Lake, and somehow he gets Lake off the train, and 1-1 allows it, and she's in the real world now, and it's gonna be like, we never get any explanation for that. We just get like, hey man, this metal or this glass. No, I guess she's more like metal because she doesn't shatter when she hits stuff, right? So like this reflective girl is just in the real world, and like we never get an answer to it. And like, is she gonna meet Tulip or something like that? That would have been so cool to see that in an upcoming season. But they just ruined it. Not the creators, just like the people that canceled it ruined it from us ever seeing like what would happen with Lake and them. Like, what happened to her? Was she a government experiment after she got out, or did she hide it, or does people know about her? It would have been super cool, but nah, we didn't get to see it. Did she turn to a hermit and go into the woods? Man, sucks. We never got to see it. But yeah, that whole season, really good, really cutesy. And then the third season, this is a season where they go overboard on the brutality. It's about two kids that were there at the beginning, and then they eventually grew up and basically became cult leaders. Um, and basically their motto is like everything on the train belongs to us, all because of the fake conductor, Amelia. I forgot her name, but all because of the fake conductor, and she basically made them think like everything belongs to them. They destroy everything, including the denizens, and it's really messed up. But they get separated from their cult, and they slowly go throughout this train, and it's kind of like a journey. And one of them likes the other one, and it's kind of cutesy, but at the same time they're trying to like save this child. Um, and then one of them just goes batshit crazy. Sorry for swearing there, but bat just goes crazy. Um, but anyways, he just goes crazy. He's just like, I'm going crazy. And he tries to kill his partner, and he almost succeeds in it, but then he gets killed at the end, and it's just like, oh my goodness. Like he just straight up gets killed and melts into dust, and it's crazy. And then it ends, and we get left on this like little cliffhanger where it's just like, hey, these people didn't get out of the train, but they're working on it, and plus these insect, dog, cat things, whatever these things are, that suck out your soul pretty much. What are those? Question mark? Like what? But of course, we never get the answers for this because they canceled the show. And we probably never will unless they open the show. So that's sad. But yeah, that whole season, really great. I would say it's a little bit slow on some parts, but it's really great nonetheless. And yeah, man, it's just crazy. Um, and then we have the fourth and final season, and this takes time. This takes place back in time. Um, this takes place back in time where these two Asian dudes, they want to start a band together, but then one of them doesn't. One of them follows his parents' wishes instead of his wishes, and the other one follows his dreams, but his dreams don't work out. So they're both kind of miserable because one tries to follow their dreams, but their dreams don't work out, so he's miserable. The other one is just basically listening to his parents nonstop and not following his own dreams. So he's also miserable. And then they see each other, and then they enter the train and they go on a journey. And we see a little bit more about the way how the train got took over from one at that point. And man, one was brutal at that point. He was just like, they either get off or they die here. He's brutal. But anyways, we see um we see these two just enter this train, and then they have to work together to get out, and they have to work together to get their numbers down. Um, and they try their best to get their numbers down. Eventually, they get into arguments, obviously, and eventually they kind of make up and say like, this is why this happened and stuff like that. One time, one of them almost got off and left his buddy behind, but then he went back for his buddy from this evil hand thing. It was freaking awesome. And we don't get any elaboration on that, by the way, which is really sad. um, so yeah, like this whole season is just about these two guys rebonding their friendship, and at the end they eventually get off the train and they rebond their friendship and they go on a journey. They go on a journey out of town, out to their dreams, I guess. And we never get to know if they succeed or anything, but I assume sorry about that, but I assume if there was upcoming seasons, that we would have got like a reference to them. Maybe like in the background we saw like an album or something like that because they were trying to be music stars. So we would have probably seen that in an upcoming season. But of course, this was the end of the road for Infinity Train, and they ended the series on on season or book 4. They ended the show, and we will never get to see the episodes that we want to see, or the upcoming seasons that we want to see, or the upcoming brutality that we want to see. So yeah, that's really sad. That really sucks. Like, I heard that they were gonna make one with I think her name was Amelia. She was a false conductor that took over from 1-1. I heard that they were gonna make like one for her. And there's obviously gonna be a ton of other ones that I don't even know about. And probably they were gonna explain it eventually, like how everything works and stuff like that. At least explain some of it and where like the train came from and stuff. Which would have been awesome. But sadly, it got ended, and we can only hope, man. We can only wish that someday it can come back. You know, through some kind of thing, it can come back. Just support the show and try your best to get it back. I guess that's all you can really ask for. But yeah, really good show. Really love the show. Recommend watching it from season 1 all the way to, or book 1 all the way to book 4. And man, I hope they bring it back. But until then, this is it on Infinity Train. I hope you liked this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. That's the best way to keep my channel. Link down below to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, and share this video. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby. And you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look over here, buddy. Look over here.